If you're looking for a small, delicious, and refreshing treat to have this summer that's not going to break the bank on bites, points, or calories, I've got the perfect solution for you here. These are what I'm calling my peanut butter chocolate chip snowballs. Only a few ingredients for all of this deliciousness. Mixes together in minutes, a few hours in the freezer, and you've got a delicious treat that is going to really satisfy you this summer. So if you'd like to see how these are made, stick around because it's coming up next. Hello and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Roy. I'm a home cook and amateur baker, and I'm here on this channel sharing recipes that have helped me to lose over 125 pounds, whether those recipes are mine or someone else's. And today is one of mine, and it is so easy, so delicious, you'll be shocked. And I thought it was perfect with summer coming up, a perfect little treat, especially if your go-to is ice cream. Only 3 ingredients, and the longest part of this recipe is just the time these have to sit in the freezer. So what am I talking about? I am talking about my peanut butter chocolate chip snowballs. Now, what the heck are snowballs? You'll figure it out once you see them, but they're just basically little frozen treats. I'm going to put them onto lollipop sticks. I had to cut them in half because I only have the long lollipop sticks. So I had to cut them in half because you don't need them too long. And honestly, you don't even need these, but if you want to eat it with your fingers, you will get a little messy just because it will melt a bit as you're holding it. But if you use the paper cup, which I'm going to be using some mini candy cups to make these. So let's go over those few ingredients. I have here an 8-ounce tub of fat-free whipped topping, and I'm just using the store brand. I found that fat-free whipped topping is actually lower in bites and points than the sugar-free. For some reason, I'm not sure what the formula is that makes that happen, but I'll take it. So I prefer fat-free. But if you can only find sugar-free, that's fine too. It may just alter the bites or points slightly. Here I have 1/4 cup of powdered peanut butter, and I'm using PB Fit, but PB2, any powdered peanut butter you have is fine. And here I have 28 ounces of chopped chocolate chips, and I'm using white chocolate chips. I came up with this using milk chocolate chips, but Paul really likes the white chocolate chips in this. You can use any chocolate chips you want. You could even swap out the chips and maybe use some chopped nuts. You can play around with this. Once I give you a recipe, do what you need to do with it. But those are all of the ingredients that we need. And I do roughly chop the chocolate chips just because I want them to be able to spread throughout these, and I didn't want big pieces of chocolate chip that are gonna just be in a few here and there. I wanted it to spread out. So I'm going to bring in my bowl and my whisk, and I'm going to start off by just taking the whipped topping and putting it in the bowl with the powdered peanut butter. And then I'm just going to whisk these two together before I add in the chips, because I want the powdered peanut butter to really get in there and incorporate with the whipped topping. So that only is gonna take 30 seconds to a minute. Now you could do this without the chocolate chips if you just wanted to do the peanut butter. You could maybe even, and I haven't tried this yet, you could maybe even put a little unsweetened cocoa powder in here. You may want to add some sort of sweetener because I don't know if this will be sweet enough to counteract the bitterness of the chocolate, but it's worth a try. Then I'm going to switch back over to my spatula and just stir in the chocolate chips and get those dispersed throughout here. Now, if you wanted to keep them whole, but still wanted to make sure that you got a good amount of chocolate chips, you could up them. These are sugar-free chocolate chips. They are Lily's, that's what I'm using, but you can use whatever you like. But that's all there is to it. Comes together that quickly. Now I have a number 50 scoop, which I believe is about the size that I used last time, which is about a tablespoon and a quarter, and that's what I'm gonna use. I'm also going to put my little cups into my mini muffin tin so it has something to hold on to. and it doesn't fall out of shape. So let me shuffle a few things around and we will move on. All right, so I have my little sticks ready. I've put my little cups into my mini muffin tin in an arrangement that you don't have to do that. I was just being quirky and making sure they were evenly spaced. Now we're just going to scoop with our number 50 scoop, again about a tablespoon, into each of these cups. Then I'm going to stick a little lollipop stick in there. As long as this is firmly in there and will freeze within our little snowball, it's fine. Although the first time I made them, I didn't use any sticks, and Paul complained about how it was making his fingers messy when he tried to eat it. So I was able to insert these after they were frozen. So if you'd prefer, if you're doing it for a specific occasion, you can wait until they're frozen and then stick them in so they're more upright. The way I'm doing them, they'll probably end up being off to the side a little bit, but it's fine. If it's only for you, no worries. So I'm just going to scoop right into each one. And as I said, this should give us 18. That's what I got the last time. And if there is any that I find left over after I've done the 18, I will just disperse it among those 18, because I did do this as making 18, so that's what the nutrition facts will state. So let me get these all put into their cups and I'll be back. All right, so I did have a little bit left. Each one of these probably took about a tablespoon and a half, but now I'm just going to take my lollipop sticks and stick those right in there. You can try to stand them upright, and they seem to be holding up pretty well, so no worries there. Just get all of these put in. Now you could, if you wanted, make more. You could make all 24. You could make them a little smaller than I'm making them here. You know me, I like a generous dessert, and that's what I'm going to be getting for myself. So just get all of these put in. So now these are going into the freezer for probably about 2 to 3 hours to firm up. Shouldn't be too long. And then I will show you what they look like. I could just give you all the information now, but you want to see what these snowballs look like, don't you? Well, I'll show you once I get back. Let me put these in the freezer. I'll probably end up watching the Survivor finale while I'm waiting, and then I'll be back with a delicious treat. Okay, I am back, and I did realize during my little break that I hadn't put out my cookbook or the board. So if you were missing the board earlier, I apologize. I don't know what I was thinking. I've been having a few little physical issues today. Maybe they distracted me. I'm having a little bit of an issue with my left thigh right now, but the show must go on. I've taken my snowballs out of the freezer, and you will want to store them in the freezer. You can store them as is, or I prefer to just throw them in like a giant gallon-sized freezer bag and keep them in there. Then you just take them, peel off the paper, and there's your little peanut butter chocolate chip snowball. As I said, did these as 18. You can spread it out. But by doing this as 18, each of these is going to be one Better Balance Plate or Old Blue Point. I am on the Healthy Better Balance plan, equivalent to the old WW Blue plan, which is around where their current plan is. Now, if you have 2, it will go up to 3 with that WW Healthy math, but these are so easy, so great to have on hand. If you just want a little treat, something a little ice cream-like, especially in this warm weather that we're getting. We had almost 90 degrees today here in Massachusetts, and these snowballs make the perfect little treat. Just one is very satisfying, especially with a little crunch of that chocolate chip in there. Delicious. But if you were following calories, the calories for one of these snowballs is going to be 42. And if you are following macros, the fat is 0.7 grams. Saturated fat is 0.3 grams. Protein is 1 gram. Carbs are 5.6 grams. Fiber is 0.8 grams. And sugars are 1.6 grams for one of these little treats. But I hope that you enjoyed this little recipe and this video. And if you did, I'd appreciate the usual like, subscribe, comment, share. Hit that notification bell for the next time I upload any sort of video. Now the recipe for this, if you need the recipe, is going to be, of course, on the blog, and I will link directly to the recipe down below. There's also a link to the blog itself. Also down there are links to my 2 stores, my Fourth Wall and my Zazzle stores. Fourth Wall is where you can get this apron, and the Zazzle store has other things, aprons as well as shirts and planners and things like that. So if you can support the channel in that way, I would appreciate it. Another way to support the channel is to purchase my cookbook. That is on Amazon. I have a link directly to that down below if you were in the US. If you were in another country, you would just have to search Recipes with Roy Cookbook. Also in the description box is my Amazon storefront. If I've used anything on this channel, such as this mini muffin pan, it may be down there. And my social media is there as well. My Instagram and a few Facebook groups that I'm part of, so check out the description box for all sorts of information. And now I think I'm going to go have a little snowball fight. And I hope you'll be having one yourself real soon. So until next time, bye.